Hey, it's Ethan Skolnick for 5 on the Floor and the 5 Reasons Sports Network here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. This is the latest season ticket. The news that we were waiting for and that we've been signaling for quite a while is certainly a possibility at this stage. Dame Lillard has requested a trade, and not only that, he's requested a trade specifically to the Miami Heat. So there have been a lot of things lately that have been leading to this. Dame said in a meeting with the Portland Trail Blazers that he was waiting to see what they did to start free agency. Free agency has started. Jeremy Grant was the only thing that they really did of any significance, and that was to re-sign a player who's a veteran player, who's a good player, but likely not worth the contract that they gave him. You take a look at everything else that Portland has done. They've basically been waiving good young players, but also been drafting Scoot, for one, and recently, obviously, gave the extension to Anthony Simons. Last season, they still have Shaedon Sharpe, a rookie. They haven't made any moves to get another veteran. And so, again, everything has been leading to this, including the national media sentiment, which seemed to be almost universal in favor of Dame asking for a trade, which is inconsistent with what it usually is, which is that everybody's saying, don't run from the grind, stick with your team, be loyal. But I think even the national media, which typically doesn't get it, recognize that the Portland Trail Blazers are not going anywhere right now. They have a lot of good young players, but they're in a rebuilding stage. They've never gotten past the Western Conference Finals with Dame. They did that once. They certainly weren't going to get close to that with the West strengthening over the past few days. And so you were looking at another couple of years of Dame's career in his sort of end of prime, even though he just had one of his best overall seasons, that was going to be wasted with likely no playoff appearance, maybe not even making the play-in again. And so with all of that being considered, and the fact that he has a very close relationship with Bam Adebayo, which is well known, has a lot of respect for Jimmy Butler, and is a guy who is willing to play with Jimmy Butler. And look, that's not every player around the NBA who is willing to kind of deal with what Jimmy requires you to be, okay? And that's not a bad thing about Jimmy, but Jimmy wants you to be all about winning, all in, put in the work. Dame is not afraid of that, okay? He's an alpha personality who will fit perfectly next to Jimmy and take the pressure off Bam. So that and the fact that he has great regard for the Miami Heat organization, which he has always said has led to this trade request. So now the ball is in Portland's court, but only somewhat. You don't want Dame Lillard coming back to your team disgruntled. They're going to try to do right by him the way that he's done right by them. And they don't really have anywhere else to send him. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers, I guess, could be involved, but Dame has requested Miami specifically. And Brooklyn already got rid of one of the pieces, the Joe Harris contract, that could have been used in a trade for Dame. So the fact that Dame was interested in playing with Mikal Bridges, I don't think that that's going to matter. This seems like just a matter of time at this point. And again, we've kind of followed this all the way along. We told you to be patient, that eventually Dame was going to ask out, and that was the thing, that was the domino that was going to cause everything else to happen. Now the question is compensation, and what do the Portland Trail Blazers hold out for? It's pretty clear that they don't want Tyler Hero because they've got a lot of young guards, but Tyler could be shipped to a third team if that's what it requires. You have the Kyle Lowry contract, you have the Duncan Robinson contract, you also have Jovic drafted last year, Jaquez drafted this year. Those could be possibilities for a trade. I think the sticking point may end up being Caleb Martin, and we've said that the Heat may have to part with Caleb Martin, but they did just sign Josh Richardson to the minimum, and that gives them a little bit more flexibility. They don't want to trade Caleb, but if that's what it comes down to, I feel like that might ultimately get done. We'll have more on this going forward. We know Twitter is having some difficulties, so we advise you to subscribe to Off the Floor because you'll get the text directly to your phone no matter what's happening with Twitter. It's just $3.05 per month, and we've kind of been on target with all of this stuff, so you should be subscribed. Also, we'll be on Watch Playback this afternoon. Have a good day. It's Dame time.